This is the Wander Well Living podcast, where we explore the highs and lows of life and the intricate spaces in between. In that vein, we talk to inspiring individuals about their path through life's complexities. And today, we have actor and icon, Walter E. Jones.
Glad to be here. Hey.
Here. Microphone.
Check 1, 2.
How you doing?
I'm blessed to the wear. How about that?
Yes, I love that. Yeah, we are in the thick of award season. Have you been keeping up with everything?
Not everything. I've been watching the movies. It's been films on, with all the awards. But I'm excited for the Academies. There's some really good projects out there.
Yeah. Any favorites?
Well, I just saw American Fiction, and that was, I thought that was really cool. Jeffrey Wright, great cast, so many great actors in that project, Tracy Ellis Ross, and it was really cool. It was kind of a statement about how ridiculous things can be, Basically, the premise is there's a book writer who's like a famous book writer, Jeffrey, and he's not getting his books sold, It's like he writes this great content, and then there's another artist that is writing like these garbage stories, and everybody loves her. Everybody's like, she's amazing. So he decides to write his own piece of garbage as a joke, but it becomes super popular, and everybody loves it, and he's indulgent. So I thought it was really entertaining and very good.
Yeah, what I've seen during the award season is so much diversity that we've seen come through. And as I was sitting down thinking about this interview, you've been in the business so long, 30 years, and I certainly didn't look that way 30 years ago. What have you noticed diversity-wise since you've entered this business, especially as it stands today?
Well, for one, there's been a tremendous amount of more quality stuff for us to do. Like Power Rangers came along and it changed the game because it was the most diverse cast that any kids had ever seen. In fact, I was the first black superhero on live action TV. Woo! Thank you very much. There were other black superheroes that had done movies. Robert Townsend had done Meteor Man. There was the Mantis, and those movies came out. They were made movies of the week kind of thing. But first live action show, that was me, and on TV every day, inspiring minds of kids, that all kids, but for people that were of, colored people, Mexican, brown, black, whatever, it was the first time they could see themselves and go, that could be me. I can have a diverse group of friends. I could be a superhero. I can be powerful. So I'm happy to represent that, and it makes me very proud.
Yeah, that's my first superhero. So, I can't really trace back when I was like, I got into health and fitness and wanted to be this sort of fit person, but that was definitely one of those moments for me that contributed to that whole mindset. Yeah. So thank you for that.
It was my pleasure. In fact, I think about it, because I do a lot of Comic-Cons, and so I get to meet a lot of the fans, which is heartwarming and amazing. And I've had people come up to me and go, you were the first black person I saw on TV, which I think about, and I go, who do I remember from my childhood? And the things that stand out are like buckwheat. Yeah. But I don't want to be buckwheat. Yeah. that's not somebody I wanted to be. So I'm happy to be somebody that people will look at and go, not only is he a superhero, but he's a cool person. Yeah. He's like talented, he's physically fit, and I'm inspired to be like that. So I've had a lot of Marines come up to me and go, join the Marines because I want to be like you. And I'm wow. Just being positive in the lives of people that I don't know, and then for it to be in 40 countries. That's 40 countries, lots of different languages. To be that inspiration, to feel like I threw a rock in the water and it created these ripples all around the world, and in a positive way in people's lives makes me really happy.
Yeah, and those fans are no joke. I got to share my little Power Ranger story.
Okay.
So, came in LA. I made it to the producer callbacks of the Power Rangers, the 20th anniversary season.
Do you remember the name of the cast?
No.
Okay.
So it was me and another person down for a ride. It might have been the Blue Ranger. But, so I leave it, I get, just my agent, and then, that's it. On Twitter, all of a sudden I start blowing up on Twitter. All these fans have somehow found out that I was one of the last two people, and they're like, okay, and I just got a taste of that fandom. I didn't get the job, of course.
That's all right. That's all right.
But just getting a taste of that. So what has that been like with that sort of fandom that you know is not going to leave, and they're just excited about you all the time? How has it been connecting with them over these years?
It's been an amazing journey. We have the best fans in the world. I'll say that much because we've been rocking out for 30 years. 30 years, and I did the first 85 episodes of the show. I left the show after the second year, right before the movie, because the contracts were bad, and I was standing up for my rights. Standing up for my rights. We fight bullies, and right now you're a bully. So I stood up. It was myself, Austin St. John, we tried. We stood up for what we thought was right. We ended up leaving the show. They hired new people, and the show has continued for 30 years. But I think it would have been even bigger had we been part of the movie, which is like something we had earned. But the fans have stuck with us all the way around. I mean, like the fact that I haven't been on the show in 28 years, and I am still beloved by everybody, which is amazing. I actually had the opportunity to go back to the show for the first time in 28 years last year. We did Power Rangers Once and Always, and it was on Netflix, and it was like, it was #1 globally for a while. It was like #8 globally in the world, but it hit #1 here in the United States and in Mexico and Brazil and all these different places. It did really well, and it was very nostalgic for the fans.
Yeah, what was that feeling for you? Because I know you had said previously that you kind of felt like, even though you were staying out of business, you kind of wish you had gotten that movie because it would have felt more of a completion of the work you had done.
I mean, the movie is something that we earned. We took the show from nothing, and then it became the #1 kids show in the world in the first week of it airing, and then we just wrote it, and then it just got better and better and better, so much so that they're like, we got to do a movie. This is going to be a big money maker. But then we got the contract. The contract was for 3 movies, all non-union. I can say this, for 3 movies, our what we would have earned was never going to go over $30,000. That doesn't make any sense. For 3 movies, well, a piece. But it started at like 18. You know what I mean? It was like, okay, 18, after the next movie was like 24, the next movie was like, man, come on. I mean, I was a little older. I'd been in the industry for a while. I was 26 when I did Power Rangers, playing 16. Which is, yeah, I've always looked.
You know how we do.
I've always had a very young look and a young energy. So at 26, I was playing 16 on the Rangers. Then I left that show. Got a show on Nickelodeon called Space Cases. I was working with actual 8 to 15-year-olds, and I was like 26, or I was 28. And then I did a Disney movie called Brick, which is a beloved movie by a lot of Disney fans. And I was like 30, and the other actors were like really 15. I remember Eric Von Detten was one of the stars. He was like, "Oh, you're really cool, man. I like the way you kind of act a little older." He didn't even know, but great. I've been able to play a lot of younger people, and then IMDb happened, which is kind of crazy because IMDb put the ages of actors on IMDb.
There was a lawsuit about that, yeah.
It was lost on it, and they lost. And it was the same thing because I guess it was a young Asian woman, and she had always played younger characters, and she went to go sue them over the fact that she was losing work now because they put an age on there. Because casting directors are like, we love you, but how old are you? Now, if you don't have an age on IMDb, you can say, oh, I'm this age. And they're like, okay, liar. But if they can see your actual age, they're like, well, we want a real 30-year-old. Yeah. We want a real 35-year-old. So that has interfered with my career as well. People don't know where to put me because I am 57 years old. And you can put me next to a 57-year-old, and I am never going to look like that. I'm going to look like my son. So it's kind of a complicated thing. But, last year with Power Rangers Once and Always, I was actually able to play kind of my age, and that was cool. I was like the guardian of the young, Tree's daughter, which is cool, and I enjoyed that role. So I'm looking forward to doing more stuff.
Yeah, would that feel like a homecoming or like a completion of that?
It was absolutely a completion. I didn't have any coverage, So I had intended to go back to the show. We were going to negotiate the contract, come back, do the movie, do more shows, and we walked away from the show, we started negotiating, and all of a sudden they had hired 3 new people, and it was like, oh, I guess I'm done with that now. So immediately after I joined the union, and I started working union, and I just haven't turned back. Luckily, Power Rangers once and always was union, because they had come to me a few other times before and said, hey, are you interested in coming back to this? I'm like, is it union? I'm like, okay, well, and they kept it non-union.
Wow.
For out of 30 years, I think maybe one of those years they were union, and then they made movie units. Happy to do that. That's awesome.
Well, I gotta talk to you about that moment where you decide, I've done these 80 episodes, this movie's coming out. Where did you find, I guess, that courage to say, I'm going to leave, I have to walk away here? I mean, we talk about how easy it is to stand on this, but how did you actually do it? Where did you find that moment?
I think it was my maturity, part of that. Me being familiar with the industry already, knowing, because I went to school for performing arts, I got a degree in musical theater. I studied with people that had been in the industry, and I knew people that were in the industry, and I knew that what we were going through wasn't right. I knew it from the very beginning. I'm like, this contract is for that. But at that point, it was like, I don't have the experience, so I'm either going to do it or not. So let me do it, see what happens. It became a hit. I was like, okay, well, now I'm not an unknown actor. Now we are actors with a name, and we are producing this product that is worldwide, that is #1. So I think I should be paid what I work. And at that point, I mean, not that they had to blow it out of the water. We weren't doing plans. It wasn't like, okay, but we should make it human so that it's fair, so that we'll protect it. And unfortunately, that's not what happened.
Did you, on a positive note, do you have any favorite moments from those 80 episodes on set that maybe too many people don't know about?
Well, I do about 40 shows a year, Comic-Cons, and so you can imagine I'm always asked to request this next show. So it's hard to come up with something original, but there were so many memories that I have a lot of them, and sometimes something arises and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I can say that one of my most precious memories from being on the show was maybe the first time that I was aware how much of a difference we made. We had an opportunity to go to a hospital and visit some kids that were dying, really sick and ill. The charity's called Make-A-Wish Foundation. And so we go to the hospital in our costumes, and we have our helmets off, and we walk around the hospital and meeting these kids, and they're smiling and so happy, they're so excited. And they told us there's this guy in this room, he's like a 12-year-old. He's burned over 80% of his body. He wakes up every day in pain. It's this horrible, horrible thing that he's dealing with, and he's just depressed. He hasn't smiled in like 2 months. And so we walk over, and we can't even go inside because it's dangerous for him to be around anybody. But we all peek our head through the windows, and he was sitting in his bed and looked up and saw us, and his face lit up. And we were like, yo, we're waiting. in our major suits and like our helmets off. And there was a moment where I was like, man, we really do make a difference in some sense, because this kid who admires us saw us, and it made him so happy he was able to smile. And that brought tears to my eyes. I was like, yeah. I mean, like, I'm a positive person. I like people. I like making people smile. So for me, being in this position, I kind of feel like God put me in this position because He knew that I would enjoy doing what I do, giving happiness to people. And the easiest thing in the world right now is to make somebody smile by just being nice. So I could have been nice without Power Rangers, but it wouldn't have the same effect, because now people are like, you are superhero. I'm like, yo, what's up? They're like, I never thought I would ever meet you, and they walk away. I watched them walk away with this club, and I'm just grateful to be able to provide that.
Do you find there's any pressure on yourself to like make people happy in a certain way when you're maybe not feeling it?
I wouldn't perceive it as pressure. Like I said, it's something I would do anyway. My mother raised me to be an optimistic person, a kind person. I grew up in Detroit, which is the hood, but however, I was like the Richie Cunningham of the hood, and everybody loved me. I loved everybody. I think I went through a period where I realized I was a little too nice to people, and that was a growing moment where I had to kind of like shift my energy a little bit, and then I came back to it with boundaries. And that was good. That's growing up. As you learn, as you get older, you learn. I can allow this. I can't allow that. So,
And how have you dealt with the mental health of it all, with the ups and downs? So you're pretty positive. So what has been your coping mechanism when things aren't going well or not the way you would like them to go?
I really gotta give it to my mom for giving me that optimism. I see the world with the glass half full. Even with death, like I don't have my parents anymore. My mom passed, my dad passed, but the way I see it and the way I deal with death, and I just lost a friend this weekend, Mark Dodson, who's the voice of Gremlins, and did some stuff on Star Wars, but the way I see it, the way I deal with it is I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for the time that I had with him. I'm grateful for the moments we got to share. And although it's sad that I won't have any of those moments anymore, it makes my heart happy and full knowing that at least that was part of my story, my life. Because I say life is the adventure you create for yourself. And I create a lot of adventures. I've done everything. I'm an adventurer. I love everything. I've been bungee jumping, skydiving. I've been diving with great white sharks. I've done stuff playing recently. I've done race cars. I've done, all these different things, and if there's something I haven't done, somebody presents it to me, I'm like, let's do it. Let's go. So it's exciting. The dog sledding, I was in Alaska recently. I was in the hot springs while it was snowing, and I saw the Aurora Borealis. So
that song, Live Like You're Dying.
Live Like You're Dying. And I have friends. I met a woman years ago who was odd to me because she did a couple of things. I was like, what's up with that? That's kind of weird, But then I learned that she had Crohn's disease, and she had almost died like 2 or 3 times. So at this point, she was selfish with her life. She was like, I'm gonna do what I want to do. I don't care about anybody else. I don't care. You may feel what you feel, but that's right. I understand this is my journey. This is what I'm doing. I'm like, now I get it. It took me a minute to get that, but when I get it, I was like, okay, now I admire that in you.
How could you brought up loss, landing with Jason David Frank? How did that loss impact you and then the franchise as an actor going back into that role?
Well, there was 5 of us originally. There was the 5 of us that originated the series. Then Jason Frank came in like 16th episode, and he became a big part, a major part of the series. And first we lost Tree Tran, who was my friend and played Trini. She was the original Yellow Ranger. And that was sad. We weren't able to really. The show was still very young, and kids are kids, and we don't want to put death in the face of kids. So it's like we made a big deal about it. It was in the news, people knew about it, but the kids probably were saved from that. And then Jason Frank, it's been 30 years. So those kids are now adults with kids. And I think, it affected everybody in the sense that we're the fans are still mourning him. The fans are still mourning the fact that their superhero from their childhood is no longer with us. But again, what I do is I try to share the message of be grateful that we have him. Be grateful that we have him in our lives, that he made a difference, that he was so positive in the lives of so many people that made a change. That made a change, and let's just be grateful for that. I'm not going to sit here and cry over the fact that he's no longer with us, although I wish he were, but I'm happy that he was, So.
That's a powerful mindset. I'm sure I really employ that all the time. I know a little shift here with your voice acting. It opened season 2, Cloudy with Meatballs 2 as well. What is it like shifting from voice acting to live action acting you were doing?
Well, shifting is the wrong word. Shifting, it's not like I went from one thing to the next thing. I've done everything. My decision in the industry, or what my realization was, it's a very difficult industry. It's hard to get work. You do a job, the job's over, now you gotta get another job. So let me do everything I can do to work. So I dance, I sing, I act, I do voiceover work, I do television, I do film, I do commercials. I would put myself out there in every way that I'm capable of, that I'm talented enough to do, and make it work. So I did those shows that you mentioned, but I've done many other things. I've done voiceover for, Anheuser-Busch. I've done like a lot of commercials for a lot of things voiceover-wise, but people would never necessarily know that was me. I was with at least 4 or 5 different loop groups, and I did maybe 85 different films, including the ones you mentioned, as a voiceover artist, but it was like background. So in a movie or a TV show, the extras don't speak, but they're acting like they're talking. So in a primary scene, there are actors behind them going, right? And so they're a character doing different things, and as a loop artist, we give those characters voices. So I've done a lot of projects doing that. I did a lot of looping. I've done voiceover, like I said, for commercial television. I've done some cartoons. Some of them were good, some of them were bad. There's one that fans come up to me and go, I can't remember the name of the project right now. And maybe it's better than I donate to it. I did a project years ago. It was a rap cartoon for Christmas. Rap City Kids, this was called. And it was pretty horrendous, but not because of the talent, but because the production failed. They were using this animation program that had promised to be something that it wasn't. So at the end of the day, it just didn't work out well. But it aired one time on primetime TV, and it had a bunch of artists in it. Like I played the main character, but there were Nancy Cartwright was in it, people from Star Wars, like all these major voiceover artists were in it, and it just failed. But that was like one of my early on things. I almost did a cartoon with Dick Van Dyke, but the show didn't go. I was excited about that because I was a kid watching Dick Van Dyke on TV, Dick Van Dyke. But I've done a lot of voiceover on a lot of different things, looping, commercials, animation.
And how did you get to those spaces, and were you ever afraid to, you do everything, but there's a moment where you go, does the world know I do everything? Do they need to know I do everything? How do you enter these spaces with something new, but also wanting to challenge yourself?
I'm often inspired by someone else. Someone goes, hey, I'm doing this, I'm like, I'm gonna do that. Okay, maybe I should dip my hat in that and see, can you make an introduction? Can I, how can I get into it? We talk to my agents, something. As an actor, you have a team, you have your talent manager and your talent agent, and, going, hey, I'm interested in doing that. And they go, okay, well, we got the space, maybe I'll submit you. And if you have an audition or opportunity, if you are good enough, then you'll probably get the job, and then that work creates work. So, looping, went out in the Power Rangers, we did a lot of voiceover. So anytime you saw us in the suit, it was Japanese scripts, not always. We did transitional. It was transitional stuff. But we did a lot of transitional stuff. In the uniforms, we took off the helmet, you saw us. But if you saw an explosion, or you saw, us jumping off a building, that's not me. Okay, I'm not doing that. It's like, they need you on the set to actually be a face. Because if you haven't watched Power Rangers, you don't know, because a lot of people go, oh, well, wasn't that Japanese? I was like, well, the first 15 minutes of every show is us as actors. We're high school kids, and we're dealing with whatever we're dealing with, and then, things wrap up, and we have to become superheroes. Then it's Japanese footage, because Hansen Brown bought the Japanese show, which ran for 20 years in Japan before it came here. And he combined American footage and Japanese footage. So anytime, if we're in the Zord, a lot of times, it's Japanese footage, and we have to voice over the costume characters. So I did a lot of that, a lot of looping on the show, which gave me the experience. And then when somebody said, hey, do you loop, or can you do ADR? I'm like, yeah, I did, 85 episodes of that. So they're like, okay, come in, let's give it a shot, and apparently I was good enough, so it worked.
So what shaped you for the next 30 years on that set that you were able to take with you? So looping, I guess, is one of them.
Right.
Was there anything else you were able to kind of take?
Well, just the experience of being an actor working on a daily basis. We were shooting 4 episodes every 2 weeks. So that means the scripts were confused rather. We were shooting according to set. So if we were in the command center or the juice bar, you know, like the setup is for one scene, and all of a sudden we're changing clothes into different clothes and we're doing a different scene on the same day, same character, but different circumstances. I gotta be like, wait, where does this come from? Okay, what are we fighting right now? You know, it's like, what's happening? So finding that, there's the mindset of being able to flip circumstances and situations around was a great experience. So then when I left the show and I was pursuing other shows, I already had the experience of knowing where the camera was at, knowing light and sound, knowing the best way to present myself on camera, and continue to work. So I did everything. I did, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Sabrina Teenage Witch. I did The Shield, which I was really happy with. It was one of my favorite jobs because I was working with these amazing actors, and the show went on to go to the globe. And I was really proud of that. I played a bad guy in that show. I was Rondell Robinson. I was the CI for Vic, who was Michael Chiklis played, and he won an award for the show over like Sopranos and all these other shows, and I worked closely with him, so that was exciting because I was like, we're doing some good work. And Michael, interestingly enough, challenged all the actors on the set because he would do stuff like we would have an intense scene where it's like we're in each other's faces, anger, violence, like craziness, and murder and all kinds of stuff, and he would have a singer on set. We're singing a song, like, hey, we're jamming, we're doing harmonies, and they go, ready, action, and we're in character. Yeah. So it's like that flip from like we're just being ourselves to now we're in character, and it's go time. It was like fun, challenging, and I was up to the challenge. So
yeah, and speaking of being up to the challenge, they must have asked you so much when you joined Power Rangers. They want you to be a break dancer, a singer, and a martial artist. They want you to do all these things. Were you ever challenged with that role or any other role subsequent where they asked you to do something and you had to step into something you weren't sure about?
Well, yeah, I mean, like that, it happens. You can be capable of a lot of things, or I have many talents. On Power Rangers, they hired me because of my skill set. And my, acting, I was a dancer, I was a martial artist, I was a gymnast. My character was special because I had my own form of martial arts, which is called hip-hop keto. That doesn't exist. So, there was no stunt commander that could say, all right, in this scene, you're going to do this. You're going to do this kick, you're going to do that. It was like, all right, so what do you want to do? So, I'm like, all right, give me 5 plays, we're going to do this. I'm going to flip over your back, I'm going to do this. I'm going to move like that, and you do this. So, that was exciting because it was probably the most challenging thing I had to do with the show. It's not like the dialogue was hard, but the fighting was a new adventure every time because I didn't know what I was going to do until we got on the set. I could see what I had to work with. Oh, we're working on a picnic table. Oh, I'm fighting on a swing set. Or I'm going to do this. I'm at a park. There's a tree limb. I remember doing a stunt where the players were all major martial artists. The stunt team, major martial artists, and they always had input. Hey, I bet if you did this, it'd be cool. I'm like, okay, we would try different things. They would challenge me to do things that I did not do, and I learned. And I remember this one scene where we were running through the park and being chased by Putty, and I think, hey, if I can grab that limb, I can swing over the top of it and kick you in the back, and you run underneath, kick you in the back. Now that is not a simple task. And I tried it, and I didn't have enough momentum to get up and over. I would get up, but I'm like, but I needed that momentum to go up, over, come back around and kick him. And so what we came up with, me and the stunt guy, is he's like, I'm running behind you, the camera's here, so they won't see me if I push you. So I'm like, oh. So I jump up, I got the momentum to swing forward, he pushes me. I go up and over the limb, come back, kick him in the back, and it's like, that looks awesome. Yeah. So, those are things I've never done. I never even considered, but, you know, I was able to find ways to make it happen.
Yeah. And throughout your career, you've used all those talents.
Yes.
And now you come out with some music under Trey Emanuel.
Under Trey Emanuel. Trey Emanuel, a lot of people wonder, like, why are you doing music under a different name? It's because Power Rangers is it is a certain market. It's been made for kids. And I don't want to damage that with being an adult. I'm an adult. I'm grown. I'm like 57 years old. I'm like, I can do whatever I choose to do. Yes, I like to go to bars and have a drink, but I'm not trying to push that on the kids.
Yeah.
So if I decide to rap about something like that, I don't want it to be something that they necessarily follow.
Yeah.
Be a ranger. Let me be that guy that is your superhero. That's cool. But I'm a grown man, and so Trey Emanuel is it's a combination of things. I'm paying homage to my father and my son and myself. My father's name is Walter Emanuel. My name is Walter Emanuel. My son's name is Honor Emanuel. So that's 3 Emanuels. Hence Trey Emanuel.
Okay.
So I came up with that name, and I'm doing music, and I've only released one song, and it's called Dance, which is, you know, definitely me. It's kind of a house vibe, house vibe. But I've got 6 songs currently. I'm working on more. I'm planning to release another one. It's a rap song called. It's called. I'm trying to remember my name. My bad. Sorry. Walk in the Park. God, that took a long time. It's called Walk in the Park. It's a very cool song. It's hype. You know, it's like the way I got into that was after I left Power Rangers, I tried to get a music deal. They told me you can't use the name Power Rangers at all. You can't use that. So after a while, I was like, the record labels were like, we really wanted to be able to use that, so it fell apart. But recently, one of my friends, his name is ATO Worldwide, he hit me up, he had written this song, he included Angel Grove in it. And I was like, somebody sent it to me, I was like, that was dope, I liked it. He was like, man, I'm a big fan, I grew up with you, and I would love to get you in the studio sometime. I was like, I haven't really pursued that in a long time, but it's always been something I love, I'm capable. And he's like, well, let me, get you in the studio. So about 2 weeks later, I hadn't heard from him. I called him and was like, hey, bro, I just want to get you in the studio. He's like, oh, I didn't know you was for real. Come on down, let's do something. So we went in, and we put together a song that turned out to be really nice. And then we did another one. So I took those songs, and I approached some other people in the industry, and I worked with some of the writers that work for Chris Brown, for Prince Montana, and so forth. So I worked with them to create 3 more songs. So I have a 6-song demo now, and some of it came out. Most of it came out really good. It's all different. We got 4 rap songs, 2 pop songs. I'm planning to release Walk in the Park probably sometime in the next month or 2.
Is there a thematic inspiration?
There are songs that kind of come from my loves, or things that I felt. Like Walk in the Park is kind of like, it's about haters, like, they want to try but they can't stop me. I was like, but they can't stop me because I'm doing my thing. That kind of thing. I don't claim to be this hard, street-hard individual, although I'm from Detroit. From the D. What up, Dylan? I got stories that can be told, but I was never like a gangbanger. I was never like a negative. I was never somebody that was dangerous, something like that. So I'm not gonna try to say I'm dangerous. I got some skills. But I want to rap. I want to put music out there that inspires people to be happy, to be confident, to want to dance. Because those are the things that I love.
Yeah. And you mentioned that you were very conscious about putting this music out under Trey Emanuel.
Yeah.
Was that ever at some point for you a hindrance in your career that you felt like you couldn't do certain things because you had that fan base?
Not really. I'm an actor, so I'm playing different characters. So immediately after I left Rangers, I did another kid show, which is great. And then I did some other things. And then, like I said, I've been bad guys, I've been gangsters, I've been uneducated. I've played lots of different things. But I'm an actor, so I don't expect that people are going to take that and hold it against me. I didn't want to be pigeonholed to being one thing. I am capable of many things. I have lots of stories to tell. So.
And if you had to give advice to an actor coming up, what sort of advice would you give them about longevity as well?
Couple of things. One, do as much as you can do. Do the things that you love. You know, and create content. You know, like it's like at this time we're in a place where a lot of people can create their own content, and we have the ability to create it and put it out there in the world. There's so many mediums where you can do that. 30 years ago you couldn't, because it was all in the hands of big studios and so forth and so on. So if it's something you love, try it. But this is the key. Do it because you love it. Don't do it because you want to be rich or famous.
Period.
Because wealth and fame come and go. You can be rich and you can be poor. You know, it's like you can be famous and then you can be nobody knows who you are anymore. You know, the industry is fickle that way. So if you get into it for that, then you will likely be disappointed at some point. But if you do it because you love it, then hey, you do what you love.
Yeah, and you balance really well, you know, being out in the public eye, but like raising a family.
Yeah.
How do you balance that personal and public life?
It's not that difficult. I mean, like you know, not everybody's in my business. So that's good. I mean, the amount of fame that I have is awesome because I can go, you know, to a lot of places. I don't need security. I just go on my own, and usually wherever I go, it's a lot of people are like, yo, you like, know what you like, but people are respectful. Some people are like, you know, super high. They're like, fuck, come here. Hey, you're proud of mistakes. You know, but it's always love and it's always cool. You know, and then family life is family life. Like I didn't really talk too much about my kids when they were kids because I didn't want them being approached by people. I didn't want them to be approached by people that didn't know them and feel awkward.
Yeah.
You know, they've seen people approach me throughout their life where they're like, you know, they see, you know, people come up and want to, you know, take pictures or whatever, and at this point they're like, you want me to take the picture, Dad? So it's cool, you know, and they're proud of me, and you know, it hasn't been anything negative towards them. Of course, when I'm with my family, I'm with my family. I'm taking care of them, taking care of business, and doing my daddy duties, you know, and helping them raise them to be the best that they can be.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think so many of us have trouble figuring out what that balance is like. So especially in Hollywood, when it comes to professional acquaintances and friends, how have you kept that a distinction and kept those relationships productive?
That's a good question. I just stay true to myself, man. I just, you know, like I'm gonna be me, regardless of you're famous or you're not famous. I don't care. Like if you're a cool person, you're a cool person. If you are, you know, famous and you're not a cool person, I'm probably not gonna hang out with you because I don't want that energy in my life. So I'm not a user either. You know, I know a lot of people, and maybe this is to my disadvantage. There's a lot of people that I know that I don't really ask people for anything. Like, if there's something that I can do to help benefit you and in turn it benefits me, then that's great. But in general, I don't ask favors, and that might be a mistake. You know, that might be a mistake. Maybe I should utilize my advantages more. You know, like, but
serve you well and get you out of trouble too.
So that's cool. In fact, right now I'm working with this organization. I'm partnering with this. I'm becoming more of an entrepreneur as I get older, doing different things, and I'm working with this organization called Family. So I'm partnering with them, and it's the description is kind of like it's kind of like a Patreon for big time fans of Power Rangers, and so it caters to our biggest fans, and it's a very cool organization. It also helps. There's only 5 of us right now. There's Hollywood from the show Teen Wolf. There's James from Big Time Rush, and Peter Sumter from Peter Pan, Austin St. John, Power Rangers, and myself. And it's a very cool organization. It caters to the fans in the sense that the fans tell them what they want, and we create these videos for them. And the videos are wild because, you know, I'll go in and I'll shoot a video. Like, okay, well, so the fans want to see you do a video about this. I'll go shoot the video, and then when they turn back around and send it to me to be approved, I'm so entertained. I'm like, oh my God, it's so funny. And they put like music under it, they do like graphics and, you know, stuff in the background. It really kind of breaks down, it answers questions about behind the scenes stuff and just things that people, Power Rangers fans, want to know about. And then they get to see Austin and I interact together and just be ourselves, and it's really fun. I'm excited about this company, and we're at the beginning. Right now there's only 5 of us, like I said, but the company's growing quickly, and I think it's, the cool thing about it is that they help actors know how to create income outside of the industry. So, you know, you book a job, you work the job's over, and now you gotta wait for another job. You gotta get hired again. And in between times, we do it. So this Fanword project is really cool because it's helping to create more content, and I'm learning a lot from them. You know, it's on a business structure kind of thing. So it's cool.
And this is the new age because of sort of the technology that we have. Yeah. What did you do in the between times when we didn't have social media or other ways that were so accessible?
Like I said, I did everything. So if I wasn't working, so I'm a world champion salsa dancer. Want to get on Dance with the Stars? Hashtag want to get on Dance with the Stars. It's not ballroom though. I did salsa, street salsa. I did salsa bachata because I'm a zoo, cha-cha, and all this partnering. It's like I was doing martial arts and I injured myself, pulled a hamstring. I was like, okay, I gotta chill out for a minute. And I started dancing salsa, and I fell in love with it. Within a month, I was teaching beginners to do it because I'm a trained dancer, jazz, tap, ballet. I did that when I was in college, and it is probably why I look so young. Because honestly, I've been dancing maybe 2-3 times a week, and it keeps me young. I mean, one, because I'm out and about. I'm not sitting at home on the couch getting vaccine, getting hair. I'm like, I want to look good. I want to go out, and it keeps me fluid because I'm moving, I'm sweating, and it also is, it takes away tension, it takes away stress. So when I lost my mom, which is probably the biggest loss in my life, because I was so close to her, I just remember her saying, Walter, when I'm not here, I just want you to continue being yourself. Just do, be yourself and be happy. And so the day my mom passed, and this may seem odd to people, the day my mom passed, I was supposed to teach a salsa class that night. And I was like, I'm not going to call in, I'm not going to go. And then I heard my mom's voice going, Walter, be yourself, do what you do. And I went, this is part of my work. This is part of the way I sustain my family. I'm going to go. I'm going to go teach this class. And I was quiet about it. I didn't tell everybody when I got there, like just kind of in my own space. But after I taught my class and I started dancing, I was able to release that tension that I was feeling, that heartache that I was dealing with. I was able to express it in the dance. And my partner didn't know what I was going through. They didn't know what I was feeling, but the music took me to places that were like, if I could get you on that beat, so boom, I was like, it was creative and it was beautiful and I loved it. And so when I lost my dad, I also went dancing because I found this was a way for me to release what I was feeling, to express what I was feeling to express my feelings without hiding in the shell, to release it. And again, most people didn't know. Maybe before my dad passed, I told a few people, this is what I'm dealing with, and they were like, oh, and we were dancing. It was like it's cathartic, So I love that.
And that my next question was, how do you stay so young but stress-free?
Stress-free. Release that stress, man. Stay exercising, stay young. I don't stay still. I have a lot of energy, probably because of the cardio dance. And and I feel good. I'm happy.
Daily rituals, skincare.
I don't really have a daily ritual. I am working. I'm doing intermittent fasting. Currently, I'm trying to watch my diet. I'm You know, I'm trying to stick to, I'm trying to keep away from like sugars and starches and that kind of thing, carbs. But I mean, I do indulge, but so I could be doing a better job. But I'm doing pretty good. I mean, like you know, when I went back for Power Rangers, I was like, okay, I gotta get back into the suit. This is that. I want to be in the suit forever. Give me things that I can do. So I started intermittent fasting and changed my diet. I lost about 15 pounds, and when I got on the set, I was ready. So I wanted to continue that. Although after Power Rangers, it was like, that was fun. Let's eat some carbs. Give us a pizza. But I'm back. I'm still working at it, and I think as long as you are working towards a goal. If you have a goal, I wanna lose this many pounds. So what do I have to do to do that? Follow that, and follow it as hardly as you can. It's not easy, you know, but it takes 21 days to make it happen, right? So if you can do it for 21 days, 3 weeks, then you'll be surprised at how easy it becomes. It's like when I started doing intermittent fasting, and I'll do it from like 12 to 8 or 10 to 6. So I won't eat anything after 6. But I'm a night owl, so I'm up and about. I found that eventually I just wasn't hungry. I wasn't hungry, so I ate. I ate less when I ate, and then I would eat, you know, protein bar for breakfast, first part of the day. I may go have some acai, and then I might go for dinner before I finish eating. My last meal of the day might be a big meal. That keeps me going to the next day, and I'm good. You know? So I'm just always trying to educate myself about what else I can do to improve my life.
Yeah. And so is it 26-year-old Zach? What was he having? Has your fitness, your nutrition, has that changed?
26-year-olds, I didn't care. I mean, like, the body was there. Like, I would eat. We would go to Crafty, we would have our lunch, and I would eat 3 desserts, and it didn't matter because I was burning it off. My metabolism was so fast, you know. So now. So
it's no learning.
Yeah, it's no learning. I had to change things. At some point, I was like, you know, my body doesn't react the same way, but my body remembers. So I start working out. My body's like, oh yeah, we do this. You know.
Nice. We're doing a little Q&A. Do you have any questions out there? Yeah.
Yes.
What part of Detroit are you from?
I am from inner city West Side Detroit. I grew up by Linwood and Davidson. I went to Central High School, and I was there at a time where Detroit was the murder capital of the world. So it was a crazy time, crazy place. But I know Detroit as being a place where people are really real. You know, that people were genuine, and you know, you knew who was dangerous and you knew who was nice, and so I just stayed away from the dangerous people.
Yeah, I grew up in Detroit also.
All right, what up, though?
Redford.
Redford.
Yeah.
Okay, she went to Redford High School. Yeah, Redford School.
So I knew you were cool when I first met you.
They did, right? We already knew we had an image, a vibe. Yes, right. Yes, sir.
So you've done everything, and I'm just curious if you had that you could choose, not somebody proposing a project to you, what is like your dream thing to do in terms of a film or a TV show?
My dream thing to do, as far as a TV show or a movie, I would love to be part of a rom-com. I think people haven't really seen that aspect of me, and I'm a very loving, kind person, and I'm fun, and I'm jovial, and sexy, right? I think if I did something like that, it would be something that people can enjoy that they don't know about me.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. First, I have to say, you are the two examples of Asians are like black don't crash.
Black don't crack. I like to see black don't crack. There you go.
And Asians, we don't die.
Your Asians don't raise it. There you go.
I have the questions regarding this, like obviously you stay very young, like you make new bands, you do all different kind of stuff. So like in this industry, like as actors, just anyone in this industry, like face so much rejection. How do you kind of keep your mental health in like a really good state? Obviously that's another reason why you don't crack, right?
Yes. Well, in this industry, you learn quickly that there's a lot of rejection. And you can't take it personal. I mean, I learned over time that it wasn't just about the audition. It wasn't just about my performance. That was the reason that I didn't get the job. Sometimes it's because the producer already has somebody in mind. Sometimes it's because the co-star is much taller than you. Sometimes you don't look there for the age. I mean, I can go in and perform and do my thing, and it could be something they're amazed with. And I've been involved with projects where I was going for a lead character, but they liked my audition and liked what I was able to bring to the character so much that they created another part for me. And they said, or we're going to give you this part instead of that part, but we want you to be part of the project. The metaphor or the analogy I have for it is you just keep throwing spaghetti at the wall. You know, you take spaghetti and throw it at the plate, it sticks and it's done. Well, you keep throwing stuff at the wall and something will stick at some point, and you just grow from that. Yeah. You can't take it personally. You know, I mean, although it's difficult because we're artists and we're artists. I put my heart into that. You know how much work I put into that? I mean, I've done stuff like, I've been up for a film where I was supposed to be a homeless person, so I went on put on some dusty clothes and went and sat down downtown with the homeless and just to observe and kind of find my character, you know. And maybe not the safest thing to do, but interesting for me because one, I would never really subject myself to just being in that space, but then to do it, I learned. I got empathy for a lot of things. I got to talk to people, learn about why they were there or what they were going through. I've been at food kitchens and helped people down there and that kind of thing, and learn that there's a commonality in everybody. It's just circumstances that change everything.
Sure. Any more questions? More?
Yes.
I'm so curious. You said 26 years ago or whatever, you had 2 desserts that you just kept scarfing down. What was the desserts?
What had you?
That's a lot.
Well, you know, I have a sweet tooth. I am a big fan of cakes, cookies, and pies. I can't smell candy. I don't like candy. Candy's like,
same. I'm not a fan.
You want candy? I want to do my chocolate. I love chocolate. But my favorite thing is warm chocolate chip cookies. Warm chocolate chip cookies. You know, there's this cookie company, and they do all these different cookies. And oh my God, they're big cookies. And if somebody has them at their house, I'm gonna eat them. I can tell people like, please don't have those cookies there. The crumble cookies. Oh my God. Oh my God, so good. And if they're warm, it's done. It's done. I'm like, I'm intermittent fasting, but not today. I'm about to eat these cookies real quick. So, yeah, but cookies, cakes, and pies. If they had it, you know, on the menu, then I was at least gonna taste a little bit of each one. I would probably eat all 3 of them.
Well, I want to thank you for joining us. One of my final questions to you is, what does wandering well throughout life look like for you?
Wandering well throughout life looks to me like seeking adventure, seeking life, seeking, you know, we never stop living unless you choose to. So, eat things you wouldn't eat, because you never know. Like I grew up in Detroit, you know, I was a young brother coming from the D, and I thought sushi was going to be nasty. Okay, raw fish, who does that? I'm not doing that anymore. And then when somebody said, let's class of sushi, I'm like, I'm not really into that, but I'll go, I'm going to hang out. And I started with like just the vegetables. So I was like, okay, that's pretty good, it was decent. Then I had some fish, and I was like, oh. Then I had eel, then I had like unagi. It was like, everything got, you know, they're all different, but the experience of eating it made me go, I now do sushi. And now, so there was a point in my brain that switched and went, never deny the opportunity to try something because you just don't know if you like it. And if you discover you like it, cool. If you discover you don't like it, then don't do it anymore. You know, like, or let it grow on you. You know, so wandering well is wandering with curiosity.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us.
You can find me on Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, so forth and so on. Usually it's under Walter E. Jones. I think Snapchat is WEJ. You can find me on TikTok under Walter E. Jones, Instagram Walter E. Jones, Walter Emmanuel Jones on Facebook. Emmanuel is spelled Emanuel, one M, one L, not biblical, but his name. And yeah, man, I love to interact with my followers. So if you like stuff, I'm gonna like you. So thank you, and just keep supporting me. And thank you guys.
Trey Emmanuel Dance. Don't forget that.
Emmanuel, hey, Trey Emmanuel is Trey.Emmanuel.music. If you're looking for me on Instagram.
Nice. So you can find us at Wonderwell Living. Thank you guys for joining us.
Wonderwell.
See you next episode.
Peace.